Anybody who would like to be part of the picture frame, please come on over. I see we have Supervisor Avalos. I believe we have former Supervisor Bevan Dufty. Other notables are joining us. Excellent.
Yeah. And I might just want to do some
Good morning, SCIU. How are you?
All right.
All right, absolutely.
It's overmodulated.
Well, that just happens to be my booming voice. Sorry.
That's good. Better.
I can whisper if you like. All right. Why don't we get going? I'm Ross Mercarimi, Supervisor of District 5. I want to say good morning to everybody that's here at SCIU and my colleagues and former colleagues that have joined us in solidarity and speaking out to what we believe is a very counterintuitive proposal by the Department of Public Health. I stand here firmly with SCIU to call attention to what we think is not a well-thought-out proposal, and yet this is not the first time. I have been on the Budget Committee of the Board of Supervisors 6 years. This is literally the 4th time that we have seen a Proposition J, known as contracting out proposal, of deputy sheriffs either in the Department of Public Health that oversees San Francisco General Hospital or Laguna Honda, or at the Department of Emergency Management. 3 of those times we have successfully blunted back, fought off the efforts of contracting out. We believe that it's important that in critical institutions that these buildings, the staff and the general public that occupy and visit these institutions be safe. We believe that the best representatives to ensure their safety are members of the San Francisco Sheriff's Department. The newest proposal that is before us is frankly the most troublesome of all the proposals we've seen, the 3 preceding where we fought back contracting out. The fact that a $13 an hour security guard, a rental security guard, would be able to deploy and exercise more power and authority than a sworn peace officer of the San Francisco Sheriff's Department is completely absurd. It's not real, it's a myth, but it's a myth that's being well propelled by the Department of Public Health. I think that is potentially dangerous. We understand very well sort of the economics that are at stake here about trying to reconcile budget deficits. But I believe that in order to have that conversation, we want to be intellectually honest about what it means to replace a sheriff deputy, a sworn peace officer, with somebody who's a $13 an hour security guard. That security guard, whether the Department of Public Health believes it or not, would have more authority than a sworn peace officer, is a misdirection, and it attempts to, I think, misinform the Board of Supervisors and the mayor. And consequently, it also suggests a greater liability to the city and county of San Francisco should there be a violation of civil rights by there being any use of force or excessive force deemed by the person who would be apprehended or approached by a security guard versus a member of the Sheriff's Department. It is our utmost concern that the staff of San Francisco General Laguna Honda be safe. It is our utmost concern that those patients, whether they're deemed 5150s, those requiring psychiatric care on a temporary basis, or people being detained, be so in a very safe environment, in a regulated environment. We also want the general public to be safe, and we want the institutions unto themselves to be safe. The best trained personnel are those from the Sheriff's Department. It is no surprise we have such a strong outpouring of support here today to call attention to what we think is a very wayward, misdirected, counterintuitive proposal. I look forward to hearing from my colleagues and everybody else that speaks to this as to why we need to correct, we think, what is certainly a step in the wrong direction, just as we have the 3 previous times over the last 6 years. So thank you again. I'd like to call up Supervisor John Avalos and then former Supervisor Bevan Dufty. Is that okay? Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, Ross. Thank you for your comments. My name is Supervisor John Avalos, and I am also speaking on behalf of Supervisor David Campos, who cannot be here this morning. So my comments are echoing his sentiments as well. San Francisco is a union town, and we have a deep union history in San Francisco. And there is no stronger union than SEIU 10-1, and it's worked on supporting the workers who are civil service workers, who are frontline workers in our public health system, in our human services agency, in our rec and park departments, and services all across this city to make sure that this city can run effectively. And we have to make sure that our positions are safeguarded. Our city creates a standard that I believe affects the private sector, that the private sector looks up to, and that we are eroding the standards in place that our city has to offer in terms of wages and affordable health care that can support a family's health care needs and pensions. That we are eliminating what's best of what this city can provide, and not just for workers, but for services as well, because workers who are well attended to, who make sure that they have affordable health care and wages that they can live on, means that they can provide good service for our city. The services that the IPOs who are on the chopping block before us today provide an important service to our hospitals in San Francisco. They make sure that our patients are safe. They make sure that our nurses, our doctors, and our hospital staff are safe. They make sure that our public health system is the best it can be in this city. So we need to make sure that the positions that are in place can remain as civil service workers, that are not privatized, because we've seen over the years that there's always efforts to privatize the workforce, and it's the efforts of SEIU 10-1 and allies in City Hall that prevent that erosion from happening. So I'm here to stand in solidarity, and my colleague as well, Supervisor Campos, with SEIU 10-1 against this misguided attack on workers, and together we can win. Just as we know that we have much fewer Prop Js that are before us today because of the work that 10-1 has made over the years to fight back on privatization of our workforce. Thank you very much.
Good morning and thank you. I'm Bevan Dufty, and I've spent a lot of time at SF General, and as a result, I have an SF General sweatshirt. And if you look on the back, it says SFGH, as real as it gets. And that's the truth of the matter, that we have a world-class trauma facility and public hospital that is the pride of San Francisco. But the reality is that time after time, situations arise that require not just security, but compassion, understanding, and experience. And those are the qualities that I believe that the Sheriff's Department and their staff bring to SF General. I have opposed this consistently when I served on the Board of Supervisors. I believe it will be rejected again because it's not in the interest of the public, and it's not in the interest of the patients or the staff at SF General. And so I'm proud to stand with SEIU and to underscore the fact that in these difficult times, I think that we have to be respectful, that it's the members of SEIU that have some of the most challenging jobs that are the least heralded jobs.